welcome to the next episode of the Point After Podcast. I'm with my host Jay. My boy, how you doing this afternoon?
Hey, besides some technical difficulties early on, we're doing great this day. You know, just another day out here. Bad hair day, so I had to put on the beanie. Just y'all want to just comment on that? I don't want to hear nothing. But how you doing, my boy? How you doing?
Beanie J.
Beanie, it's attire number 2. You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing good, bro. It's a chill afternoon so far. Um, Come on, man. Just talk about some sports, man. Obviously,
We already know what we get
today.
into.
Yeah. And I don't got my haircut yet. My haircut yet too. So, but I ain't rocking no beanie. I don't know.
It's all right.
I'm just
You
chilling.
know, you know, I could rock the beanie. It's all right. Let me rock the beanie, man.
For sure. All right.
But to hop into it, man. NFL trade deadline. Uh, you know, there was a lot of acquisitions, a lot of moves made, and we're gonna touch on them here. First one I do want to touch on: Marshawn Lattimore traded to the Commanders, sir. How we feeling about that? Commanders coming in as a real threat. They're making a push with their rookie QB clearly, and they're trying to secure that division per se. How we feeling about this move?
It's a fantastic move. This is exactly what this Commanders team needed. Like, this is a team that's really struggled in the secondary, even throughout this good start that they've had. They need a big name in that secondary, and we know when Marshawn Lattimore is healthy, he's still one of the top corners in the game. He had the ankle injury last year. He's dealt with the hamstring this year. Um, but again, when healthy, this is a guy that his overall, when people are targeting him, these wide receivers, that catch rate is at 47.6%, which is
Hmm.
ninth in the NFL. So at the end of the day, he's one of the most physical corners in the NFL. And when you're matched up against him one on one, he's not going to give up a lot at that cornerback position. And overall, quarterbacks, their passing rating against him is 63.2, which is fifth in the NFL. So the key thing, we know Marshawn Lattimore, when he's healthy, he's one of the best. And hopefully the Commanders get that, because this is the kind of move you make when you feel, hey, you can win your division, you can make a run in the playoffs.
Right. And clearly they see like the deficiency is their defense, right? So you got to add to it. You got to put pieces together, and this is a good sign of a good staff and a good organization headed forward. So, good move.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Mr. Tre'Davious White going from the Rams. We going to Baltimore with it. But
West Coast to East Coast.
overall, yeah, hey, long flight. Overall, though, how we feeling about this move? Like looking at Tre'Davious White now.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been a good move, like, what, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah,
Shout out to Davis White. He still is a veteran presence. He's still someone who's played a lot of football, and obviously he had a lot of success earlier on in his career, but the
correct.
injuries have kind of taken a toll on him physically. He's clearly not the same player he used to be. Back then, he was an all-pro back in 2019. So,
Buffalo gave him shit. So
it's definitely some days away from all-pro Tre'Davious White, but it doesn't hurt to have experience and have an extra body, in that secondary room.
absolutely, and I think, in my opinion, it's just good depth wise. If
Mhm.
anything, Tre'Davious White's going to be above average is the ceiling. I feel. But as you could see on the Rams, he does get burnt sometimes
Mhm.
in the games he has played. It looks like the game has maybe caught up with him a little bit. But if you look at Ravens' depth chart, he is significantly a backup. They still got Nate Wiggins, they still got Humphrey. So still got their tandem. It's just they're adding depth as the Commanders. Ravens are really making a push as well. And Lamar, I need you put together this season, my boy. That's all I gotta
This
say.
year,
I would hope so. For Lamar's sake and for his haters, and I'm a Lamar fan. For his haters,
are you?
I am. I am. I am. Do we
All
forget
right.
who I picked last week for MVP now?
Nah, okay. Respect, respect,
All
respect,
right, all right. It's
respect.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah, and the thing about, obviously, with Tre'Davious White, he's only playing in 4 games here with the Rams.
That's the problem,
Um,
right?
but the thing, like, the Ravens right now, for all their successes, they have a bottom five pass defense. So again, like I said, it doesn't hurt to just add someone into that secondary. We never know. Playing alongside someone like Marlon Humphrey, that could rejuvenate Tre'Davious White, and he can somewhat get back to the player that he used to be.
Right. And sometimes when older players go to significantly better teams, sometimes they could, like you attest to, they feed off other players.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey, look at it, right? So that's a prime example for you right there. So, like you said, could rejuvenate his career, nonetheless, a solid move.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. And then to move to the next player, we got Preston Smith going from the Packers, traded to the Steelers. Okay. How we feeling about this one? You can tell me more than me.
I mean, it's solid. You need pass rush depth. You got obviously the bookends, T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith on the outside. But you're gonna need that extra pass rusher as well. Come playoff time, you can always rotate guys. Preston Smith might not be the most explosive player that he was a few years back with the Packers, but he's still like top 20 in run stuff and assisted tackles, like according to advanced stats. So he's still someone who is good against the run, and he's someone who's going to be around the ball as well. In that run game.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't hurt to add another piece. Depth is always a good thing, and it looks to be he will be starting. So, Steelers also 6-2, not a terrible team. They are making a push, so it's good to add this piece to the team. Jets trade Mike Williams to the Steelers. Honestly, by the way,
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers,
Rodgers
bro.
Aaron Rodgers was looking on interviews. This was coming. This is coming. And his criticism of Mike Williams, like that whole play that happened, you could tell Aaron was kind of fed up or
It was a
whatever
matter
he
of
was
time.
feeling. Yeah, exactly. But to look at the positives of it, right? You go to the Steelers, you're opposite pickings. Got a quarterback in Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson doesn't work out, you got a quarterback in Justin Fields. It's like he's not let down at the very least. It's just we haven't seen much from Mike Williams. That's the problem. But what are we feeling about this, Caleb? I want your thoughts.
I mean, I've always been a fan of Mike Williams. There's no questions. I feel like someone to what I was talking about with Marshawn Lattimore. Like when Mike Williams is healthy, there's no doubt he's a big play threat. He's someone that is going to catch a lot of 50-50 balls. He's great in the red zone. The problem with Mike Williams has been his health, but
Yeah.
specifically this season, he hasn't been featured a lot. We clearly saw Aaron Rodgers basically outed him in that
Essentially,
interview.
man.
So, but look, he's a guy who once upon a time, was a 2,000. I mean, was a 1,000-yard receiver for two
Right.
seasons. So that he's clearly a wide receiver that when he's in the right system and when utilized correctly, he's a big time wide receiver. And I think opposite
100%.
of someone like George Pickens, we know Russell Wilson loves to play action, loves to throw the deep ball. Still, I think this would be good for my wins. I think this fits like his play style fits his team, and I think this actually could be a really good move for the Steelers moving forward and them making their playoff push, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, for the playoff push as well, it's good to have another weapon, so they're not exactly just doubling Pickens all game and leaving Russell with absolutely nothing.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, a good move. Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure you're all relieved now. You just have Garrett Wilson, you just have Devontae, and that's it. So I'm pretty sure you're all set there. Mike Williams is going to be all set in Pittsburgh. And say la vie. It's all good in the hood. But Panthers, another whiteout, traded to the Cowboys. The crap Cowboys. What did Caleb call them last episode? The booty Cowboys, the a hoes. I
Cookie
don't know.
Crisp, Cookie
Mm-hmm.
Crisp.
Mm. But looking at Jonathan Mingo, he's saying and I said it again. Young player with the he has upside. I mean, he's 23. Hasn't done anything too special in the league yet. Granted, he has been on Carolina. It's the worst team in the league.
He
Kind of.
gets an excuse.
He gets an excuse. He has a decent quarterback, glorified game manager, Cooper Rush. Dak's out with injury at the moment. They give Trey Lance some push. Maybe this offense will be something. But at the end of the day, this isn't going to make uh, a strategic change of their season. Cowboys are still crap.
Yeah. Um, I think overall you look at this move. It's just a moment of desperation, like you said.
Yeah,
Mingo, you're really going on for potential with him right now.
yeah,
He is an athletic, tall, wide receiver who could potentially make big plays for you, but especially now with Dak Prescott, who's gonna be out for an extended period of time, it's really hard to
yeah.
take this move, seriously. But wish
That's
him the
the
best, though.
issue. Absolutely. Wish you the best. You're in Dallas. Oh, good luck. Anyways, Broncos trade.
Cowboys fans are gonna hate us, yo.
Oh, bro, they're not gonna like us once. Yeah. Baron Browning traded to the Cardinals. It's just very much pass rush depth. Not really too much to look into here. He had 5 sacks in 22. Um, just a body. I feel like just a body, and maybe Broncos were just getting this guy off the books.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting move for me for the Cardinals because the Cardinals, they're a team that's I think has caught some eyes really these last few weeks. A lot of people like myself thought this was going to be a bottom five team in the NFL this year, but you look at this the way their team playing, the way Kyler Murray's playing, the
Yeah,
way, and then one of the best young tight ends in Trey McBride, obviously Marvin Harrison. We know Marvin Jr. We know you're going to get from him. He's already been as good as advertised to start the season. James Conner has been underratedly one of the best backs in the entire NFL. And yeah, why not add to this defense? It definitely needs some help on that pass rushing side. Getting a guy who, like you said, he had 5 sacks a few seasons back, so clearly there's some pass rushing ability there. So we'll see where this goes.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
And I mean, we're gonna see, man. Cardinals are just fairly average, but Kyler is playing his ass off. Bears Khalil Herbert traded to the Bengals. Hopefully, this produces some type of running game that they've been missing. They've been very one dimensional, and that's why it's led to lost games. We know this team could put up a lot of points, but the problem has been they just don't have a consistent run game who consistently run the ball, good 5, 6 yards per carry, maybe. With Khalil Herbert, looks like you may get that. He's very explosive, he's very fast, he has a lot of breakaway plays. So I feel like this might be the turnaround for the Bengals in their season, maybe getting on that more winning side of the record, right?
no, 100%. I said this was probably one of the more underrated moves at the deadline. I've always been a fan of Khalil Herbert. He was the number one back last year when they departed from David Montgomery. He became the lead back, and he was really successful in this system. But once they paid DeAndre Swift that money, it really was a matter of time until this was going to happen for Khalil Herbert.
Yeah,
But this is a guy last year that averaged over 4.5 yards a carry. The year before that, no, over 5.5 yards a carry. Like he's a big play back. He's extremely quick. He's good in the passing game as well. And along with Chase Brown, who just went absolutely berserk on my Raiders last week, you
he
have
did.
a potential now of a potential, a good 1-2 punch with Chase Brown and Khalil Herbert. So this is definitely a solid move for the Bengals.
Yeah, very much a solid move. This is going to add a lot more flow to their offense, a lot more consistency, not a lot of three and outs. So good move. And another good move right here. Browns traded away Sedarius Smith, traded to the Lions. Hey,
The
I
Browns are
know,
down bad, bro.
real bad, real bad. They're terrible, and they still hold Deshaun Watson's contract. Uh, but Sedarius Smith traded to the Lions, man. I get it. He is older, on the older side of 32, but he is still putting it on, man. 5 sacks on the year. He already had five and a half sacks last year, so he's already doing better than he was. He tackles well for a loss. Adding this to the Lions, this just adds to that powerhouse of the defense along with that powerhouse of an offense. This is a scary team, and they're still 7-1, and they're gonna catch this dub against the Texans. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Zarius Smith is still playing at a high level. He's still really good against. He tackles well as far as when his tackling comes for a loss. Like he gets in the backfield still at a very high rate. And with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson, they clearly need someone on the outside that obviously you're not going to replace what Aiden Hutchinson brought, but you needed someone on the outside who can get to the quarterback, who's good against the run, and is also they can get in the backfield at a high rate because that's going to make the other players around him better as well. So this is a solid move. This is a not a solid. This is an outstanding move for
Right,
the
right.
Lions, and definitely that's going to propel them to, in my opinion, that they're going to represent the NFC in the championship game.
Yeah, it's really hard to disagree with you, especially because they were like known as such a crap team, and then Dan Campbell just comes in and just turns this bus
Culture setter.
around. Man, it set the culture on the real. And I wish Niners had Dan Campbell, to be honest. But anyways, they will be a very good NFC contender for a very long time. I stand by that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to move on to the next topic we got here. Saints fire your boy Dennis Allen. Finishes up with a record of 18-25 overall. Just say average, terrible. I don't know. How would you rate this as a whole?
I think as a Saints fan, it's god awful. This is a Saints team that this is a team that had high expectations really these last few seasons. Uh, Post Drew Brees, they brought in
Yeah,
Derek Carr. They paid him a lot of that money. The offensive talent that they've had around Derek Carr these last few years. Obviously, we know what recently happened with Michael Thomas, but Michael Thomas was there last year. You had Chris Olave, obviously one of the more young, talented receivers in football. Juwan Johnson, a tight end, is a nice tight end. Alvin Kamara, one of the pure best all-around backs in football. The
facts.
offensive line hasn't quite been what it was in years past with Drew Brees. So, I'll give him the slack with that. They haven't
Right.
had the greatest offensive line, especially since Ryan Ramchek's injury as well. They've really missed him. This defense overall has been still pretty good throughout the struggles. Now they've struggled these last obviously 7 games because their offense is struggling to put up points. But you
Stay on the
know,
field. Yeah.
with the Demario Davis, with Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, uh, Paulson and Debo. I'm forgetting the other secondary guy, Taylor. I'm forgetting his first name, but he's really good. You got Pete Warner at linebacker as well. But this is just a Saints team that really, overall, it's just ran its course. And
It's just done.
I was really surprised when they decided to pay Alvin Kamara that money. It was best for them to trade, but clearly, maybe Alvin just wants to retire with the Saints. Who knows? But I think it's great I think it's good for the Saints to move on from Dennis Allen. I think
Mhm.
next needs to be Mickey Loomis, their GM. They need to completely clean house and start over. They got rid of already Marshawn Lattimore. Um, whether Demario Davis or Cameron Jordan retires, both of them need to be gone
Right.
as well. And then you look at the offense. Obviously, you're going to keep Chris Olave. I talked about Juwan Johnson. You just pay Kamara, but again, I wouldn't be surprised. They should just cut him in the offseason. Even though they just paid him his money, probably cut him in the offseason. This team needs
Essentially.
to completely start from scratch and start in the draft, start in free agency. Because right now, I believe they're like 89 million over the cap. Some crazy stuff from all the Mickey Loomis restructures. So it's disappointing for Dennis Allen because Derek Carr has been his quarterback twice, and he's been fired from both spots for that.
It's not a good look at all. At all. It's terrible look, to
Yeah,
be
I
fair.
mean, we saw it coming. I mean, their point differential was minus 22. Yes, they've had injuries, but you can't start 2-0 and lose 7 straight and expect to have a job. The defense looks disinterested, and their offense is strictly Kamara or bust.
Oh yeah. It relies too much on him.
But moving on to some real exciting news to what I consider to be as close as to winning the lottery. What happened is Lou Getzey has been fired as the offensive coordinator of the Las Vegas Raiders, along with his minion mate, James Craig, the online coach, and Rick Scangarello, or however you pronounce his name.
Spangarello,
Yeah,
Skankarello. I don't know.
maybe it might be a Scamgarello
Yeah,
as the
essentially.
quarterback coach. Look, this was a call from the heavens. We've been waiting on this for such a long time. First off, the offense sucks. It's plain as sandpaper. Quite frankly, I can teach a 5-year-old how to run this Raiders offense. We don't throw the football down the field. It's simple run designs. There's nothing innovative in our offense. Again, I could be doing this stuff. Pay me $1 million, or pay me, pay me $5 to do this. Um, this Raiders offense right now is 26th in scoring at 18.7. You want to give them 19? Okay, cool. The 26th in third down offense at 33.5%. This offense does not convert on third down, and they cannot score points. At this point, our leading scorer has to be Daniel Carlson. Make him the quarterback for all I care at this point. Um, Look, these are the facts. Luke Getsy should have never been the offensive coordinator to begin with. He was sloppy seconds off of Cliff Kingsbury. Let's just be real here.
Facts.
Luke Getsy failed with Justin Fields, and the fact that the Raiders brought him in to be the OC was just beyond me. I don't know why they did that. And then you just educated me about this Rick Scangarello dude.
Scamarello, Scangarello. I
Yeah.
don't
So
know.
what did he do with the Niners?
So I mean, in 2017, he was just the usual quarterback coach for whatever bum we had in 2017. It was probably either Mullins, Beathard, or Hoyer or somebody. And then he ended up being the QB coach in 21. And it was in his good thoughts that he thought Jimmy was essentially better than Lance, which I completely disagree with. I think it's completely blasphemous, completely bullshit. This dude clearly, as of now, doesn't know what he's doing. And, this is prime. This is prime to happen, especially when you make decisions like to put Jimmy G at quarterback when you're on the Niners. Anyways, yeah, great move by you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an all-time Titanic failure. Um, the great thing is, though, he did bring in Norv Turner, obviously one of the all-time greatest innovative minds in football, because his son Scott Turner is in line to be our offensive coordinator for the rest of the season. So we're bringing in a lot of these legendary coaches. We got Norv Turner, we got Tom Coughlin as a consultant. We've got Marvin Lewis on our staff. So it's great that we have this legendary staff, but hopefully it gets us
Hey,
some wins at some point. Um, but right now, look, this offense needed to change. It needed a spark. We've talked about it. Gardner Minshew, his confidence is completely shot. I mean, the guy looks like someone just stole his. It is like he should be playing out there. Uh, Desmond Ritter, I like Desmond Ritter, but as a second string, I mean, let's be real. I mean, it
not a
didn't work
starter.
out with the Cardinals for a reason.
It's not a starter. It's not a starter,
You know what I mean?
unfortunately.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is. This offense stinks, and they had to make a decision, and I'm glad they did it. Could have been probably about they could have probably done the second or third game in. The fact that they waited this long is beyond me, but they got it done. Shout out to the Raiders. Thank you,
Hey, shout out to your Raiders, man. I think this is a great move. You can't go wrong with getting these bums off the staff. So
bro. You don't understand, like, bro. A lot of the offensive stuff they were calling in game. Luke Getsy was asking to get fired. Like, there's no
oh
way
yeah.
an offensive coordinator does that repeatedly. The play designs on third and 10, we're running up straight up the middle with Alexander Madison. It's not like we have prime Adrian Peterson. I mean, it's just
Just
I don't
terrible. Common
understand it, bro.
sense.
And
There's no
then
common sense play calling.
like Brock Bowers gets off to great starts and then he disappears late in games. We're not even targeting him. I get it. Defenses make adjustments and they're going to start doubling up on Brock Bowers. But the fact we don't even try to throw his way, I'm sorry, bro. Get this guy out of here, man. Go back to
That's
coaching Pee Wee football. I don't even think he's good for Pee Wee football. Go back to playing Madden or something, dude. Seriously.
literally, dog. I mean, it's just downright terrible. But you want to do a little transition to the basketball or something?
Yeah, man. I got my rant's over, man.
The rant is over.
My
All right.
rant is over. Moving on though, some basketball stuff. The Bucks right now are 1-6 in the East, and I think right now it's properly to talk about the future of Giannis and some potential trade destinations.
There
Um,
there are some possibilities here.
you look at this Bucks team; they're last in the East. They're allowing 118 points per game, and they have a minus 6.6 point differential. They're clearly not getting it done. The three teams right now that obviously we're going to talk about is one, the OKC Thunder, number two, the Houston Rockets, and third, the Golden State Warriors. My man, how do you feel about OKC Thunder potentially getting Giannis, and who do you think they would have to give up in return?
Sweet. If, and I mean it is a fat if OKC just snags Giannis, well, I mean, let's look at it. Would they have to give up Chet?
I think Chet. It's either going to be Chet or Jalen Williams. One of
I
them or
was gonna
both of
yeah,
them
I
would
was
probably
gonna
be in a
say
trade,
Jalen
and
Williams,
definitely a
yeah.
boatload of first round picks, which the Thunder
Oh
got. They
yeah.
got like a million first round picks.
That's what I mean. So you could kind of play your cards right, and if you do, which I mean, I feel like SGA is untouchable. Dort, I don't know if Dort
I think you
would.
would like to keep Dort because of his defensive prowess, and obviously he can knock down open threes. But
Okay.
definitely Chet or Jalen Williams is going to go. One of those two for sure, no question.
And for Giannis, it's not a terrible trade off, especially like the OKC Thunder. They're trying to make a run for these finals, and
Mm-hmm.
you get a piece like Giannis, you're gonna be in that conversation for sure.
No, 100%. For me, I think it's clear. If I'm the Bucks, I'm asking for Shed Holmgren because at 7'1", what is he, 7'1", 7 foot?
Absolutely, yeah, he's absolutely disgusting.
The fact how he can put the ball on the ground, he can shoot, how he can handle, how athletic he is, his defensive prowess.
Yeah,
I think it starts with Chet Holmgren. I think it's Chet Holmgren. And actually, to be honest, you might have to throw Lou Dort in there. I'll probably throw Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, and 2 or 3 first round picks.
just might have
Uh,
to, right?
and that's even just to get a seat at the table because again, we're talking about Giannis. We're talking about a top 2 or 3 player in the entire NBA in his prime.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
moving on, the Houston Rockets, another name that's interesting as well.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
mean,
think about that?
you could sell. Would you sell Jalen Green off? I would for
I don't think it
Giannis.
would. I don't think they would want Jalen Green.
No,
I think they. I think for me, I think personally, it starts with Alperen Şengün, and you're probably gonna have to move the Thompson man. My man Thompson. Always
that's
get a man on a
tough.
sport Thompson mixed up. They're identical twins, but I think, yeah, I think it's Şengün for sure has to go in the deal. Şengün is one of the better young centers in the NBA,
Yeah, 16,
and
12 rebounds. Yeah, he's not bad at all.
yeah, I mean
And
Amin Thompson. There you go. It is Amin
yeah,
Thompson.
yeah.
So I think Amin
But
Thompson and
maybe a little
Sheng.
more maybe a little more compensation from the Rockets though.
Oh, and
Maybe
I
some
think you
added
probably
picks.
you probably have to throw in Fred Van Vliet just because of the contract.
Yes. Van Vliet. I forgot he's on the Rockets. Yeah.
And again, though, you got to look at the situation. So you would have quintessentially you would have what Jalen Green,
Hmm.
you would have Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks, and Giannis. That would be kind of your 4 core players. So I mean, the problem is with these younger teams, if you're going to give up a lot of your assets for Giannis, it is going to deplete you a little bit. your
Oh
overall your
yeah.
depth.
Oh yeah. And to transition to the next team where I feel like it could be a pro and a con. But you look at the Warriors and you're looking like, well, who do you trade there? I feel like the obvious pick, especially because he has been in so many trade talks just in general, and he's had contract issues with the Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga,
Hmm.
maybe along with Pods and or maybe along with Moody, maybe you send a guard over. But yeah, for the Warriors to get the acquisition, you need to send a heavy load over Pause no Diddy. But yeah. Yeah, I said pause, no
Yo,
Diddy. Yeah, I said pause, no Diddy.
hey, yo,
Hey, I said
hey.
pause.
Yeah, I think the Warriors is actually the most interesting because I think they have the assets to do it, but at the same time, still having enough depth where I don't think it's going to deplete them. Uh,
Yeah.
Case in point, you're right. I think when you look at any kind of trade for someone like Giannis, you're gonna have to put in your best prospect, and clearly it's Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's Kuminga. I think it's Pods, and I think for again contract situations, I think it's Andrew Wiggins as well because Andrew
Oh
Wiggins is
yeah,
a
yeah.
contract.
Wiggins, yeah. That's yeah.
So Wiggins, Pods, and Kuminga for Giannis.
and they could finally build around Moses Moody. Shout out Moses Moody. So much disrespect to my
Yeah.
boy Moses Moody, man. Yeah, bro. I just hate the disrespect from my boy. He doesn't get his credit or his PT. Fuck around.
No, I mean it'd be interesting. I mean, you look at a potential starting lineup of you would go probably Steph. Buddy Hield's been coming off the bench,
No,
so
I
I'm
put
I'm
I
assuming.
I'd insert Buddy Hield in the starting lineup, but then yeah,
So you would have Steph, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Giannis, and Trace Jackson
Draymond
Davis.
or Trace Jackson Davis or Draymond's have to sit.
No, no, oh my bad. Oh, I'm tripping. I would move Trace to the bench, and then I would have
They're gonna go
Draymond and
small
Giannis.
ball,
My bad. Well,
small
yeah,
ball.
cool. You would, but Giannis is 6'11", almost
No, that's why
7 foot.
I mean. No, like my bad to cut you off, but it's something like where you can do that, where you could do small ball in that situation with those players in that play style. Yeah, it fit, and then you have Trace Jackson Davis coming off the bench. Um,
Kevon
not
Looney
a
might get
not a
casted off though, low key. But no, you want to keep
yeah,
Kevon
yeah,
Looney for certain lineups though, because of his
exactly.
rebounding and his defensive
Especially if you
ability
want to
as
go
well.
if you want to go big in that lineup, right? But
Mhm.
and then they still got Kyle Anderson off the bench as well, right? Another solid piece off the bench. So Warriors to make a push for it, I say do so. It wouldn't look like a bad move at all, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. To keep it on the Warriors side though, and to move transition into the next topic, Warriors with a very, very, very hot start, man. They are out here 6-1. 6-1, the Warriors. Everyone was kind of, I don't know about writing them off, but everyone was very much down on the Warriors this year and very like, oh, Buddy Hield, that acquisition is very overrated. He's not no Klay Thompson. But truth be told, Buddy Hield fits very, very well with this Warriors team. It's essentially like it's a perfect match. You know what I mean? And you can see it, 22 points a game. And he's coming off the bench. Let's keep that in mind.
Sixth man of the year, bro, for
Hey,
sure.
I feel like he's leading that right now. But Caleb, let me know something. What is up with this Warriors team playing without Steph Curry as well?
Yeah, Steph is expected. Well, he played last game against the Wizards, but it's his
Yeah,
second
yeah,
game back today. Warriors and Celtics. That's going to be obviously a marquee game later today at was it 4:30 our time? So that's what 7:30
I believe
East
so.
Coast time.
Yeah, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
so but definitely a big test for the Warriors today, starting the road trip. In fact, after this, they have the Thunder and they have the Cavs on this road trip as well, and they come
They
back
got they
home.
got they got Cavs, then Thunder, then the Mavericks coming back home.
Yeah, and then Clay's return. So yeah,
That's
that's gonna
that's
be
gonna
crazy.
that's gonna be a game to watch. All I gotta say, Warriors are better than the Mavericks right now as we
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
speak. As we speak.
yeah.
Hey.
And you talked about it. They're off to a great start. I mean, they're third in the West right now. They're
Mhm.
leading the entire Western Conference in points per game at 121.
Yeah.
They're also leading the bench in a wide margin in points per game as well. You talked about Buddy
Yeah.
Hield, but even moving Kaminga to the bench as well. We've seen Pods come off the bench as well.
Yeah.
The additions of Kyle Anderson, he fits his team perfectly as a playmaker,
Absolutely.
defensively. That Euro step banker he had against the Rockets in the fourth quarter might have been the all-time slowest Euro in NBA history,
Dude,
but he
he's
made it.
literally slow mo.
Not for real, but he's a good player. And
No, he's good.
lastly, I think we can make a case of signing of the season. Buddy Hield, he's been an absolute revelation
Look
in
at, I
this
mean,
offense.
with the coming off this, my bad to cut you off. Just looking at this Wizards game real quick. 20 points off the bench, along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 7 for 14. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Nah, yeah, he looks like the Buddy Hield we saw at Oklahoma when he was actually compared to Steph Curry when he was coming out of college.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, Buddy Hield, he just fits his team's play style. He likes to come off
Yeah,
screens. He runs in transition, whether it's to the corner, and the Warriors are going to find them because the Warriors, the way they play, their ball movement, their spacing, and overall their back cuts, their screening. Like if you can shoot, you're going to have success on the Warriors. And
yes, you will.
it,
And
it's been a perfect hand on a glove to start this season for Buddy Hield, and I definitely Warrior fans want to see it continue for sure.
absolutely, absolutely, my boy. Uh,
But
and yeah,
lastly, to finish off the show, we're gonna finish off
gotta
with
cap
some
it off
Week
real
10
quick. Cap it off real
NFL
quick.
predictions. Yes, sir. Going on first game, the Bengals at the Ravens. My boy, how do you see that playing out?
Well, I think well, it'll be a high scoring game like their last game. To be fair, remember Ravens finished them off 41-38 last time. Very close game. The problem
Mm-hmm.
is Baltimore's just two on rhythm right now. They're too strong right now. Derrick
Yeah.
Henry is prime right now. He is the shit. He is running back number one in the league. And then you look at the quarterback, he is QB1 in the league. And it's just tough because yes, the Bengals did acquire Herbert. I say they're gonna go tit for tat. I'm going 35 Baltimore, 31 Bengals.
That's a good one. I'm actually, what's crazy?
Going the upset?
I got the same score with flipped.
Okay, okay. No,
this
I
this
I can't even disagree. I can't even disagree.
this Bengals offense is playing on such a high level right now. If the Bengals had a better record, Joe Burrow, in my opinion, would probably, along with Derrick Henry, be competing for NFL MVP at this point. Joe Burrow has been phenomenal. Recently, again, talk about it. I mean, talk about Chase Brown going crazy against the Raiders. Joe Burrow
Yeah,
throws 5 touchdowns against us. Um, the Ravens right now seem like just a runaway train. The way they're playing, you talked about how Lamar is playing, Derrick Henry. They recently brought in Deontay Johnson. I expect him to get more and more involved in this offense. Zay Flowers is having a fantastic season as well. This offensive line has been okay to this point, and their defense. We talked about Tre'Davious White. Who knows? What we're gonna see out of him. But you pair him alongside. We talked about Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey as well. You have one of the premier. I'm not even gonna say this linebackers, premier players in football, and Raquan Smith. That guy,
right.
he's different. But there's something about the way Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, the way this offense is clicking, that just I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. It's gonna be close, but I think the Bengals right now, they're offensively, they're on another level as well. So
Nah,
rolling
man,
with
it
those
it,
guys.
it, it it is hard to disagree. Next game, I want to see who you got. Steelers versus the Commanders. This is an
Yes, yes.
interesting one. This is interesting. I want to get your take on this though, real quick.
Man, this is going to be a real good game.
Hmm.
It's kind of different because the Steelers like to muck up. They like to play physical. They like to keep the games close because their defense can take over. Where the Commanders, they've been relying on so much on their offense to
Hmm.
win them games. Their offense is really potent right now, thanks to NFL Rookie of the Year Jaden Daniels.
Shout out Jaden Daniels.
Um, the two acquisitions Steelers maybe talked about with Preston Smith and Mike Williams, I think are going to be paid dividends right away for the Steelers team because I think they definitely could use some pass rushing depth and they need another wide receiver opposite of George Pickens. I think the Steelers right now there's an energy, there's a vibe about them right now where the Commanders have been fantastic, but I feel like the Commanders this is where at the point of the season where I think they're going to start to drop a few games. Um, and the Steelers defense right now is just playing at an all-time level. And when
That's
the
the
game's
thing. Yep.
close, when the game is close, I have faith in this Steelers defense to just close it out. And the way Russell Wilson has played the last few games as well, who knows? Russell Wilson can go out there and win a game as well. So
You know what I mean?
I
They're
think
actually
it's going
putting
to
up
be,
points.
yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm looking at this score being 27 to 21.
All right.
27-21.
No, I like that. I like that. I'm honestly gonna go the same way here. I do think Commanders are gonna catch a like you said some L's in the back half of the season. The thing with the Steelers defense, like you were attesting to, this defense keeps them in games, and they do keep it very close. I was just checking, man. They haven't allowed over 30 points this whole season. This defense has been very prominent in being
Typical
very
Steelers, bro.
disciplined. Yeah, that's Mike Tomlin in his defense. You can't go wrong. But you look on the other side, Washington has a powerhouse of an offense. Jaden Daniels is carrying that offense. He will be running around that field like crazy. I already know. So I wouldn't be mad if the Commanders pull out the win. But scoring prediction: Pittsburgh like it's gonna be a little lower scoring of a game. Pittsburgh 24, Commanders 21.
Okay, so 3 points less.
Yeah, just less points. Just less
Yeah.
points.
Moving on. Next game, the Lions at the Texans. This right here for me,
Game of the week.
it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be high scoring, obviously, but it's hard to bet against the Lions right now, man. Really
Yeah,
against any team they play.
like I'm gonna give away my pick right now. I'm going with the Lions. Like, it's hard. It's hard to pick against them right now.
Yeah, and respect to the Texans because what they've done. We know what they got at the helm as well, with led by C.J. Stroud and that offense. But this Lions offense right now, they're just doing stuff that it's just Madden like. The Ben Johnson, the way he's calling plays. Ben Johnson by far right now, he is the number one candidate for a head coaching job, no question about it.
Absolutely.
But 10 points. Respect to AP though. I respect AP. I'm just saying.
He said,
but
"I'm just saying."
but definitely, you look at this Lions team. They're scoring out well. It seems like whoever they play, they're super efficient offensively. Everyone's getting involved. Jameson Williamson is back from his suspension. We talked about it every week. Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, and the Lightning and Thunder combo they have in the backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs. And Jared Goff's playing at a high level, not turning the ball over. He's completing a high percentage of his passes. I think it's going to be just too much for this Texans team to handle against, and the Lions definitely feel like a team that's destined. I'm going to go the Lions actually 38. I'm going to go Texans 20. I think I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a wide enough margin where I think the Lions right now, we talked about the Bengals offense being a kind of a runaway train offensively.
Mm.
Lions as a whole right now, no one's stopping them right now.
No, not at all. Not with Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. No,
Yeah, that's what
you're
it
not.
is.
You're not.
Sonic and Knuckles.
You're not
That's what it
stopping
is.
nobody. You ain't stopping nobody. Yeah, that it's just a Madden type of team of an offense, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they got every piece of the puzzle, and they're putting it all together right now. And I feel like this is gonna ride all the way to playoffs, possibly the Super Bowl for these guys. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat this team. I'm gonna keep it short. Lions take this dub. I'm feeling the same, but I'm gonna go a little softer on the Texans, 34-24 Lions.
Okay. Next game, your team, Niners,
He's on your
traveling to
team.
Tampa Bay
Your
to
team.
face
You don't gotta say it like that, but it is my team.
to
And this
face
and, it,
mighty Baker
and
Mayfield.
all right, Kyle.
Mhm.
You need to put it together here. This is where you need to get above 500, where you need to keep your record somewhat like looking representable to not get fired, because you should be on the fucking hot seat. To be fair, um, you're lucky that his top two weapons are out right now. Very, very, very lucky. Shout out Mike Evans. Shout out Chris Godwin. Mike Evans, I really hope you come back
Excuse
and
me.
get your 1,000 yards. I really do. And Chris Godwin, please heal up. I got us. The problem is we just never play good in the mornings. Like morning games, like Niners just naturally like just suck. Like this is known. And it's an away game, to be fair. You get McCaffrey back. That's my thing.
Snap.
That's my thing. That's
The
my thing.
savior.
This is why we win this. And here's my problem. Here's my problem, my boy. I don't want this idiot Nepo baby to overuse CMC like he did the first time, which is what led to this injury in the first place. But people love to ignore that and just push it out the fucking way. This is what happens when you overuse your running backs as a tandem. Look at the Lions. We were just talking about it. Sonic and Knuckles. Jordan, it's not like Jordan Mason's terrible. Jordan Mason is phenomenal. Use Jordan Mason, use CMC, use Garendo, all in a tandem. I do not want to see CMC with 22 carries. Sorry. And he should be on a very light what is it called? Okay, missed the
Pitch
word.
count.
Pitch count, thank you. The pitch count. He should be on like at most 10 carries. Like not even that. I'd say like 8. Cuz I feel like at this point he's coming back too soon. But quit my rant. Quit my rant. But Buccaneers still gonna put up points. Brock Purdy, I hope you're gonna do your thing.
Uh oh.
21-17
Uh oh.
Niners.
Ah, I was waiting for. I was waiting for the.
You was waiting for it. You was waiting for it. Nah, we
Yeah,
catching
yeah,
dubs. I
okay.
just I just
You
don't feel
build it
like
up to just say that the
yeah,
Niners are gonna win. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You like that, huh? Nah, but
Look,
nah, but nah, fuck Kyle Shanahan. Anyway, go ahead.
this dude is anti Shanahan, man. Look,
Oh well.
I look at this game,
He ain't win
and
shit. I'm sorry. 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 Sorry.
there's two things are gonna happen in this game. The Buccaneers, I believe, will put up points against the Niners defense. The problem is, are we going to see good or bad Baker down the stretch of the game? Because if it's good Baker, I think the Buccaneers could really open this game up against
Mm-hmm.
this Niners team. The problem is we've seen bad Baker a little consistently now
It's
late
too
in the games
much.
where he's throwing picks, where his pocket presence is good, where he's holding the ball on for too long, and he gets antsy. He gets happy feet.
Real.
So, and like I said, CMC's back. I think the vibes and the energy will definitely be with San Francisco just because of that. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is a 50-50 in my opinion. I'm
Okay.
actually going to go Buccaneers in this game though. I'm going to go I'm going to have faith. I'm going to have faith in Baker Mayfield to at least be okay late in the game. It's going to be low scoring though. I think
Yeah.
this game is actually, check this out. I'm going 17-13
Ooh.
Bucks.
Ooh.
And I said the Buccaneers could open it up if Baker Mayfield does play well, but minus the two wide receivers against this Niners defense, who I think will play
Yeah.
really well in this game. I think it's going to be they're going to use a lot of they're going to use their running back Irving. I'm forgetting his first name, which he's been solid this well. I think Kate Otton's going to get involved as well at tight end. He's really been playing these last few weeks, minus Evans and Godwin. So
Right.
I Buccaneers similar to the Niners. I think it's going to be a real fickle out there, but I'm going to trust Baker to make plays down the stretch of the game.
All right. We gonna see. We gonna see. But
Next
Broncos,
game,
yeah,
okay.
Broncos and the Chiefs. I wanted your take on this first. That's why I cut you off. Uh, good Broncos defense. And I was just checking it out real quick. Haven't allowed more than 26 points to any other team against the Chiefs offense, who may be coming along now with Hopkins and also their great defense. How you see this one playing out? This one's interesting.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs win this game actually pretty comfortably. I
Okay.
got a feeling that this Chiefs team, especially coming off that tough game against the Bucks in overtime where they win, to take a Kareem Hunt game-winning touchdown to win it, obviously. But
Shout out Kareem
D
Hunt.
Hop, D Hop got involved a lot that past game. Kareem Hunt looks like it's 2018 all over again, 2019 all over again.
That's one back who's not washed.
Yeah, I just think this Chiefs team, I think that Buccaneers game is going to be the catalyst for when this. I think you're going to start seeing Mahomes lock in now. I think this offense is going to get back to what it was, where it's scoring at a very high level now. I think that Buccaneers game was the game. That was the moment. And against this Broncos team, yes, this Broncos defense has been really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good, particularly against the pass. We know Pat Surtain right now is arguably the best corner in football.
Oh, I
But
want him on the Niners, man. I remember there were like rumors. There were like rumors about Sertan going to the Niners, and I was like, I wish that would have fell through because God, he's so good, dude.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. His technique, his fundamentals, his speed, all around, he's phenomenal. Um, I'm just looking at this Chiefs team, similar to the Lions. I just think this Chiefs team is just going to be too much for Denver. Um,
Probably.
the defense, I think the Broncos is going to make it interesting in the first half. I think they're going to keep it close. I think you're looking at a potential like 7-3 first half score. But
Yeah.
as the game
They're gonna
wears
open
on,
it up.
we've seen it with Mahomes. When the game is close or when the game is teetering, he's going to make plays. And I think in the second half, I think they'll blow the game open. I'm looking at this score being 27-9. And I think it's the second half explosion from the Chiefs. D Hop catches again a few touchdowns. Cream Hunt again goes crazy, and the Chiefs are 9-0. Sadly,
It would be a sad case. It would be a sad case. It's hard to disagree with you there, my man. I'm gonna go with the same. Chiefs gonna blow this up. Like I said, they're gonna keep it interesting for like the first, second quarter. Broncos may even get a few scores here and there.
yeah,
But Xavier Worthy is gonna do something crazy. I already know. I just have it in my brain. He's gonna have this big type of play, and then Hopkins getting involved. You still got Kelsey there. Yeah, it's yeah. I hate to see Broncos. 31-10. I'm gonna go 31-10 here.
yeah. And again, quick little shout out to Bo Nix because Bo Nix actually has been playing really well.
It's not bad.
Under the system with Sean Payton, but their
It's better
offense
than Mac.
still at times,
Better than Mac Jones.
yeah, still this offense still struggles to consistently put up points. And against this Chiefs defense, I just don't see them. I just don't see it. But
Yeah.
last game, moving on.
Yeah.
We got the Eagles at the Cowboys, and
clean it up, Philly. Clean it up, Philly. Just
this was for you. This was for you specifically.
Just dig it up. Dig up the grave. Dump all the Cowboys in that grave, and then just dump all that fucking shit back in. Because this is finito after this. This is finito. Do we realize how terrible this defense is right now? Run defense at that. And you go have Saquon doing backflips on y'all shit. Watch. And I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet, man. This Cowboys team is absolutely abysmal. Cooper Rush, severely overrated game manager. If they put in Lance, my decision may be a little revered. No glaze. No glaze.
No, it is glaze. It is.
It is glaze. It is glaze. 100% glaze. But and then with the Cowboys too, it's like they have no run game. They're very one-dimensional. We know this. We recently talked about the Cowboys' woes. Looking like some cowboy hoes. But Philly, they're going to open it up and with the trash secondary that the Cowboys do have with Devontae. It's going to get ugly. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to see this game. I'm going 38-7.
Yeah, you're actually being generous. For me, the Cowboys right now, they can't. You said they can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a cough. Quite frankly, they can't even stop a hiccup.
Nope.
This Cowboys team right now, God bless them. They're done. They're cooked. They're washed. Put them in a blender, cook them up, stir them up. The game's over. No Dak Prescott, and we're gonna have like a part 2 Cooper Rush where he goes on this run. No, thank you. Prayers up to CeeDee Lamb because I think he did get hurt last game, but they said he is all right for this week.
Nothing major.
They're finally getting Jake Ferguson involved at tight end. I've been said that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
They acquired this with Jonathan Mingo, correct?
I already forgot his name. Jonathan Mingo.
Correct. Yeah, well, I don't think he's playing bingo. He's not winning nothing.
He ain't getting that 5 in a row there.
Yeah. No. And then you look at Jalen Tolbert as well. Okay, at wide receiver. I mean, Kevontae Turbin, though, he's a speedster. Brandon Cooks, where's Brandon Cooks? I'm looking for him. I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, I just think with Cooper Rush at the helm, the way this team is playing, the vibes are off with the Cowboys. They look disinterested. The energy, the attitude doesn't look right with this team right now.
That's what I mean.
And on the other side,
yeah, go ahead. Okay.
On the other side, this is an Eagles team. It's completely flipped. The vibes are there. You can see this team now starting to really play together. They're getting a lot of their guys healthy now. Hopefully, they can keep Dallas Goedert healthy for an expanded period of time, because I think he'll make this offense even better. We know the 2 wide receivers they have. Obviously, Saquon, if it wasn't for Derrick Henry, would be my vote for Offensive Player of the Year up to this point.
Yep.
Then Dallas Goedert, when healthy, he's an elite tight end. He just has to stay healthy.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you said 38-7.
38-7. I got it.
You know what though? I feel like I'm disrespectful to the Cowboys a lot recently. I'm going to show them some respect here with this result.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Eagles 33. I'm going to go with Cowboys 10. I'll give them a touchdown.
All right, give him a touchdown. And I bet it'd be a rushing touchdown. And for everybody, for all the Cooper Rush defenders, in 22 when he was in, and everybody was all on his nuts or what.
Yeah.
He wasn't even that great. You know, I'm gonna pull up the stats real quick. Matter of fact, you know what? We're gonna pull up stats real quick. You know what? Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I'm not having this shit. I'm not having this shit. Because there's too many people overrated and talk about some Cooper Rush giving us a better chance than Lance. Lance gonna give you a spark. Lance gonna give you something other than a slightly better Jimmy G.
I think the Trey Lance stuff might be gone, buddy.
I mean, he's like
Excuse me.
he's like our age, dog. I don't know. I don't know.
man.
You
Who's
don't
gonna give him a
give it
chance, bro?
the next team that possibly signs him, because clearly these boys ain't messing with him. But let's look at it here, man. Against the trash Rams defense in 22, 10 for 16, 102 yards. Okay. Against Washington, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, his better game. I like that. Against New York, 250 yards and a touchdown. I like that. Give it very Jimmy G numbers. Next game, 235 yards and a touchdown. Pretty good against a trash Bengals defense. And then he stinks it up in his last one, loses, goes 7 for 13, 64 yards. I'm sorry. You guys glorify this man way too much, talking about something he's going to revise this season or whatever. Just give Lance a chance. He's still young. He got young legs. I don't know what could hurt at this point. That's what I mean. That's my point here. I don't know what could hurt by putting in Trey Lance rather than Cooper Rush. It's not that I'm glazing Trey Lance. Maybe I am. Fuck you. But my point here is Cooper Rush don't give you such a better chance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I just can't wait for the Cowboys fans in the comments soon. Soon enough. I just can't wait to see it. It's gonna be a war.
Yeah, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. They're gonna love me. But that's it. To close out the show, man. It's been a doozy. It's been a doozy. This is a extra thing we got going on. A little 2 episodes per week. It's because I'm back from vacation. Now we're gonna get on this shit. So you guys better be ready for this content. You know what I mean? It's been me and your boy Caleb, man. We gonna say peace. Y'all have a good one. We out, man. Peace.